The page is blank. Your mind isn't. You read the same line again, it slips away. You try once more, same result. Then a sentence sticks. Because you didn't just read it, you pulled it back. You don't really forget in one dramatic moment, you leak. An hour of studying becomes 10 minutes of recall and 50 minutes of rereading. By tonight, the details are hazy. By next week, they're ghosts. The cost isn't just grades or performance reviews. It's the creeping belief that you're bad at memory. So you compensate with more time, more caffeine, more tabs, and a constant hum of stress you start calling normal. Here's the move people miss. Memory isn't a warehouse you fill, it's a doorway you teach yourself to find. Retrieval practice is simply walking back to the doorway, on purpose, so the path becomes obvious. Think of learning like wet concrete. While it's wet, every step makes a track. If you only pour more concrete, more pages, more videos, nothing sets. But if you place your foot, lift it, and place it again, the track deepens and hardens. That foot lift is retrieval. You close the source, reach for the idea, pull it into the light, and say it in your own words long enough that your brain says, oh, this route matters. Start with one tight loop. Right after a short read or watch, close everything and reconstruct out loud for 90 seconds. The trigger is immediate. The moment you finish a segment, you shut the page. The wording is simple. If I had to explain this to a friend in 1 minute, what would I say? The window is short, 90 seconds, not 5 minutes. Example, you read a section on insulin. You close the book, look at the wall, and say, insulin is the signal that tells cells to open doors for glucose. When those doors stop responding, blood sugar stays high, and the body compensates by pumping more insulin. You're not aiming for poetry, you're aiming for retrieval pressure, just enough strain that you feel the reach. Layer a second loop that catches what slips through the day. Choose a fixed checkpoint, say after lunch or before shutting your laptop, and run a 3-question sweep without notes. The trigger is the clock, 1300 or 1800. The wording is a friendly prompt. What are 3 ideas I'm keeping? 1 example that proves I get it, and 1 question I still have. The window is 5 minutes, no more. Example, keeping, insulin as a signal, doors as receptors, compensation by more insulin. Example, why people feel tired after a carb-heavy lunch. Question, what does exercise do here? Then, and only then, you glance at your source to see what you missed. That quick gap check gives you feedback without collapsing back into passive reading. Why does this work? In the wild, you don't get to hold the book open while life quizzes you. Retrieval puts you in the wild on purpose, where your brain must rebuild the model from the pieces it actually stored. A day with retrieval feels different from a day of highlighting. The first leaves you tired in a clean, satisfying way. The second leaves you glazed and a little guilty, like you watch someone else work out. Compare 2 afternoons. In one, you read for an hour straight. In the other, you read in 10-minute chunks and do 6 90-second recalls, same time. But by evening, you can still say what you learned without peaking. Common objection, but I don't have time for extra steps. You're not adding time, you're reallocating it. The 90 seconds you spend recalling now saves you 15 minutes of rereading later. And the 5-minute sweep stops the slow decay that forces weekend catch-up. If you're truly slammed, cut the source time by 20% and spend that slice on retrieval. The net effect is more retained, less repeated. There's also the fear of being wrong during recall. Good. Error is signal. When you reach and come up empty or crooked, your next look at the source hits harder, like fitting a puzzle piece after trying the wrong one. You don't entrench mistakes by guessing, you expose them, then correct fast while the guess is still warm in your mind. And that contrast makes the right version sticky. Notice how retrieval changes your relationship to notes. Instead of writing to store information, you write to rebuild it later. That means fewer sentences, more prompts. Insulin, doors, glucose is better than a perfectly formatted paragraph you'll never reconstruct from scratch. Your notes become launch pads, not museums. A good retrieval note looks like a hook you can grab when you're midair. Spacing helps, but it isn't another system to set up. It's just the rhythm of returning. Pull the idea today, then tomorrow, then later in the week. Early recalls feel a little too easy. Midweek recalls feel chewy. A week later, it's firmer. That rhythm is the point. If you only remember in the same hour you learned, you haven't remembered. You've echoed. Make the first lever effortless by piggybacking on what you already do. If you watch videos, hit pause at natural chapter marks. If you read, stop at subheadings. If you sit in meetings, use the last 90 seconds for a spoken recap before anyone leaves. Say, before we go, here's our 1-minute recap. Problem, decision, owner, next step. The time window is non-negotiable. 90 seconds keeps everyone sharp. 3 minutes invites ramble. 30 seconds invites vagueness. The minute you force clarity under a tiny clock, your memory starts cooperating because you've given it a job with a deadline. For the second lever, give it a name and a place in your day so it survives busy moods. Call it the 1300 rebuild or the 1800 sweep, and tack it right after something you never skip, like coffee or placing your laptop in sleep mode. The trigger is chained. After you place the empty mug in the sink at 1300 hours, you open a blank note and type 3 headings. Keep, example, question. The wording is ritual. Keep, example, question, forstidier. The window is 5 minutes, set a timer. If you're mobile, record a voice memo. The form doesn't matter, the recall does. If you worry this will look odd in a shared office or at home, make it stealth. Whisper the 90-second recap while you walk to the kitchen. Do the sweep as a voice memo in the car. Whispered retrieval still works. Your brain doesn't need volume, it needs the reach. The only thing that breaks the spell is reading while you recall. If your eyes are on the source, it's not retrieval, it's karaoke. You'll feel a shift after a few days. Retrieval builds confidence you can spend. When you trust that ideas will be there, you stop hoarding them. You write sooner, you speak up earlier, you draft emails without keeping 5 tabs open just in case. That calm competence isn't a trait you're born with. It's the residue of many small pulls that taught your brain the path is clear. Precision matters, but perfection doesn't. If your 90 seconds turn into 70 because someone calls you, fine. If your sweep has 2 keeps instead of 3, fine. The habit is the win. The brain loves reliable signals. When you show up at the same small moments, it meets you halfway. Now the one big breath to sink it in, retrieval practice isn't a school trick, or a last-minute hack, or another productivity app in disguise. It's a deliberate way to live with ideas, so they survive the messy gap between reading and using, the noisy commute between learning and deciding, the half-sleep between a plan and the moment you need it. And once you've felt that carryover, saying something cleanly without peeking, you'll wonder why you ever tried to build knowledge without testing the doorway you'd need to walk through later. If motivation dips, bargain with yourself. Promise a single 90-second recall after your next page, then let yourself stop. Most days, momentum will carry you into a second loop without force. On the days it doesn't, you still bank to the highest leverage action. Here's how your next hour could look without changing your topic. Read 10 minutes, close everything. Explain for 90 seconds, read 10 more, explain again. After lunch, do the 5-minute sweep. That's it. No elaborate system, no colored pens, no apps to wrangle. Just the discipline of closing the tab and pulling the idea through your own mouth or fingers before you let yourself peak. If you want a tiny upgrade, keep a stump list. When you miss something in recall, jot a single line, insulin, why exercise helps, and star it. Tomorrow, start by answering 2 starred lines from memory before you open anything. You'll feel the improvement in days, because you're tackling the parts your brain tried to dodge. If you teach or lead, end every session with a communal recall. In 1 minute, write the 3 ideas you'd keep if the slides disappeared. Collect a few aloud. People will leave with the model in their hands, not just in their screenshots. That tiny cultural shift, valuing reconstruction over reference, turns meetings and classes from content dumps into skill training. The last piece is kindness. Retrieval is effortful by design, and effort can feel like failure if you expect smoothness. Expect friction. Welcome it. The reach is the reason this works. You're not proving your memory is bad, you're making it good. Tomorrow before 9 o'clock, pick one segment you'll study and commit to closing the source for 90 seconds afterwards to say it back in your own words.